protests for racial equality in America began, it has awakened a quiet consciousness among Jamaicans about our own problems with race at home. From the blog post by Jean Lurichin branding Jamaica as the most racially harmonious country in the world, where color is no obstacle to success, to Kevin O'Brien Chang's Twitter post claiming that had Columbus not sailed, the cannibal Caribs would have eventually eaten up the Tainos like they did elsewhere. Chang later apologized for his tweet, but I have to ask, what kind of madpuss milk them people here drink? Because the myth of these cannibal Caribs that the British told us about has already been debunked. Nothing no go so. A true the people and fight for their land, and rightly so, while they were branded as savages and cannibals. And Jamaica, racially harmonious? Which part? Color is no obstacle to success? Really? When the vast majority of black Jamaicans know differently? It is no coincidence that these statements come from Jamaicans whose proximity to whiteness have afforded them the luxury of closing their eyes to the realities of the country within which they live. Someone named Rose King wrote a letter to the editor published in the Gleaner of Saturday, June 13, titled White Oppression in Jamaica. She said, white Jamaicans continue to be a class unto themselves in Jamaica. A certain group of them do not marry, socialize, befriend, regard, or respect black Jamaicans. In places, Jamaica is still being run like a plantation. Many white Jamaicans have a vested interest in keeping black Jamaicans in the positions they ascribe them: semi-literate, self-hating, apologists, poor, and dependent on their meager wages. I couldn't have said it better. It is no secret that wealth in Jamaica is by and large, as it was in 1962, dominated by white and non-black Jamaicans. That Afro-Jamaicans suffer disproportionately from crime, poverty, underemployment, joblessness, and homelessness. That Afro-Jamaicans are policed more harshly than any other ethnicity in the schools, in the workplace, or just going about their business on the street. It is our black children who are being told that their hair is unkempt, while off-white Timmy is allowed to wear his hair on his shoulders. It is our black children who are treated like adults, not allowed the liberty of making childhood mistakes, who are suspended at will for the slightest infraction by surrogate backroom masters in the form of teachers and principals. It is our black children who are sometimes accosted by police and harassed, or even assaulted and thrown into a penal system that seeks to criminalize them. Who can forget how white-passing Dennis Dietrich and Assistant Commissioner Dr. Gary Welsh made a mockery of our laws in August 2019? Deirdre, who was caught on camera recklessly endangering the lives of other motorists on the street while performing stunts with his Mercedes coupe, was given a slap on the wrist and allowed to make a public apology to the Assistant Commissioner in front of TV cameras. Raise your hand if Jamaican police has ever given you the option to bring your black ass to meet with them and make a public apology when you break the law. But whenever talk of race inequality comes up in Jamaica, people like to throw out the motto, out of many, one people. Nothing could be further from the truth. In case some of you have forgotten, it was merely a few years ago when your dark skin couldn't get you a job in certain banks or with a certain airline. We did say out of many at that time too. Yet, even today, people still have a problem with locks and Afro hairstyles, while we chant out of many. So when people say that we have a class problem in Jamaica, not a race problem, when they try to shift the discussion to talk about colorism, ask them, where does colorism come from? It comes from racism. At the root of it is the view that white is better than black, and therefore, the closer you are to white, you must be better than a dark-skinned person. We still have a lot of work to do to fix racial issues in Jamaica, but we cannot begin to right these wrongs if we don't first acknowledge that we have a problem with racism that is oppressing the Afro-Jamaican majority. white and non-black Jamaicans who are still today benefiting from the racial inequities of colonialism must acknowledge their privilege and begin to confront their role in the continued oppression of Afro-Jamaicans. We shouldn't allow this global revolution to rage on without having our own reckoning in Jamaica.